So today I'm going to tell you how we camp cook when we're medieval reenacting. This is going to be pretty thorough, so stay tuned. Okay, so there are basically two types of suspension systems we use. One is that one, the like small tripod, and then when we're doing really big cooking for lots of people, we take two tripods and put a crossbar that we can hang multiple pots over. You can put multiple pots on the small tripod, but it's just not ideal. So the easiest type of cooking in this context is boiling. Here you can see Stevie's going to be making coffee. This is a iron kettle, so we don't have to worry about damaging it. We already have a good bed of coals here, but if we were starting from scratch, we would build a little square house shape, like I'm going to show you later, and then we would wait to get the central smaller kindling lit, and then we would put the kettle over it. You can control your heat in one of two ways. You can raise and lower the kettle, which is quite difficult, using the mesh chain, which you can see has a hook there and it has a hook at the top. Or you can just adjust your fire. You can add more wood to make it hotter, and you can like knock it down if it's too hot. This is the copper kettle. It has tin on the inside, which means if you overheat it, you can actually melt the tin, which is bad in every possible way. So you want to make sure it has a lot of liquid in it, and you never want the flames around it to get too high. This cast iron type kettle is a lot more robust, but we don't have a really big one, and it is quite heavy. The copper kettle, you get a lighter weight. So we're just boiling coffee here. You can see the little hook at the bottom, and eventually you'll get a boil. You just have to stay focused, keep feeding wood, and I recommend feeding small pieces of wood. So it's really important that you cut kindling that will catch quickly and burn quickly, because that's how you get your best heat for boiling. You can also do this with like gathered small wood. Little like thumb-sized twigs are actually amazing for boiling water. They burn fast, but they're usually around, and they don't really take a lot of effort, and you'll get your boil really fast. You can see I've added some little pieces to speed up our boiling. So the next type of cooking would be frying. You can see here Sean is building up a little base fire using coals we already have, and he's going to use that to build up a hot fire to make coals for later, like a good coal bed for frying later. But it would also be a great way to start a new fire for boiling. You can light it with flint and steel if you know how to do that, or if you, again, already have a bed of coals underneath, you can usually just blow on it and get a good ignition if you have little bits of wood that will catch easily. Birch bark is, of course, also great for this. So he's blowing on it through this iron hook pipe we have, which is just amazing. I don't know what they're called. They're just incredible until he gets a flame catching the small bits of wood that are on top of the pile. So now he can burn that off and use it for coals or use it to boil water, whatever he needs. You can see us frying on top of the grill here. We don't usually do that. We just put it right down on top of the bits of wood. The grill was a special occasion for this event. It is handy, but we don't usually use it. And obviously it's not historical. So here we're frying directly on the little wood house we've made. When it gets too hot, which it will, you just have to take the pan off. This is a super long handled cast iron pan that's based on originals that we got from Goose Bay Forge, which is where we get most of our pots. They're expensive, but we all pitch in, and once you have them forever. We're frying eggs here, but we also fried toast earlier, and you can fry bacon as shown before. Really anything you want. The long handle is really helpful, but you can just use a regular fry pan if that's what you have. Just make sure you have oven mitts of some kind so you don't burn yourself. Just to say a little more about the chains, we call them mesh chains. You can see they have a hook at the bottom, and then that hooks onto the handle of your pot. And then you have a hook at the other end, usually that's smaller, that allows you to wrap around the crossbar or the tripod and then hook back into the original chain to adjust as needed. As I said earlier, it's usually easier to adjust your fire than the chain, but sometimes you have to. Hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe, etc. And if you have any more questions, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them.